Hello, Adam here, and I'm back home after 5 days being away, 5 or 6 days at a songwriters retreat in Wisconsin, which went pretty well, I suppose. I say pretty well because on one level I could judge the things I don't like and say, well, that shouldn't have happened, or it would have been better if, or on the other hand, I could say it triggered some shit and I got to see that stuff that got triggered. So that's really looking at life like a win-win situation. Pretty much whatever happens, maybe in the moment it's not fun, maybe in the moment it's pretty awful. And maybe in retrospect it's pretty awful, and maybe there's a part of you that argues with it and it's pretty awful. But you can keep coming back to, how do I love myself? How do I support myself? And how do I see this in a different way? So for example, I was with two women in this songwriting group who I did not mesh with at all. And I'm tempted even in this moment to talk about all the problems and difficulties and say why they suck, right? I don't believe that they suck, but there's a part of me that was upset. And maybe a part of me that's still a little bit upset. But I can see one of them as sort of like a manifestation of my anxiety. Like, I can't do anything right. Everything is wrong. Oh my God. Oh, how do I do this? How do I do this? Kind of energy, right? And do I have that? Yeah, I sure do. And so working with her was difficult because she just kind of spit out ideas and I didn't like her ideas for the most part. And she would do the melody different every time because she was singing the song for us. And so I couldn't really follow her too well. And then the other woman picked up the guitar and followed her, and she followed her pretty much perfectly, but it wasn't in time. So every attempt that I made to redirect them and say, well, somehow we got to get this in 4/4. Does it have to be in 4/4? It kind of does. Most songs are in 4/4, unless they're in 6/8 or 3/4, which does happen, but not a ton. It pretty much has to be one or the other, especially if we're going to program it, especially if we're going to use a machine, especially if we're going to produce this, which was what we were supposed to do. So I had my difficulties with the one, and she was also very unhealthy, very overweight. She had very difficult time walking. Brain function was limited, and so that was tough. But again, I can see all those things in myself. And her was sort of an exaggeration, like, whoa, that's you, right? And at one point she started crying, I think because she couldn't get it right. And from then on, I had to be very, very, very gentle with her. And I told her, I'm having trouble too. This is difficult for me as well. Tears just don't come as easily to me. The other woman was kind of that voice to me that was like, you can't do anything right. Whatever you do, it's not going to be good enough. No, we're not going to use that. No, it's not good enough. Something's wrong with that. So I had kind of both. I had the part of me that's super fucking anxious, can't get anything right, and then the other woman was the voice like, you can't do anything right. So I could look at that and see that there was a drama going on there that was manifest of these characters within me pushed outside. So if I look at it like that, then it's pretty clear. And so that's how I pretty much did have to look at it. Otherwise, if I didn't have a frame for looking at it that way, then it was just a miserable situation. We came up with a song I wasn't proud of, a song that kind of I hear in my head every so often. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. I don't like you, because I wasn't proud of it. So there were challenges there. But nothing I regret, because it just gave me an opportunity to see my own internal drama and process some more shit. But there was a lot of laughter there. Most of the interactions I had were very good. I got to rub elbows with people in the music industry that had been very successful. And it was a beautiful environment. We slept in cabins and it's like bunks. Nobody slept on a top bunk. Nobody needed to. There weren't enough people. But it was a really, really amazing, sweet environment made for disabled children. But they made kind of a paradise for them up there in Wisconsin. It's called Camp David. So it was, all in all, it was run very well. They only had 3 days. And so I could look at it and say, would I have liked more impromptu jams with people? Yes. Would I have liked maybe 2 songwriting sessions with different people? Yes. So I was not stuck with 2 people I didn't mesh with? Yes. Because there is that one rule, like I'll use packing as an example, that if you have 6 hours to pack, it might take you 6 hours to pack. If you have 20 minutes to pack, you'll get it done in 20 minutes. I remember one time I was living on the coast of Oregon, and I had the opportunity to get a ride to Portland to take a flight out, and somebody was leaving like in 10 minutes, and I was like, okay, and just threw my shit in a bag and was ready in 10 minutes. Granted, I lived out of a car at the time, so I didn't have a ton of things, but still, I got it done very quickly. So, yeah, by having 6 hours to do this, we took pretty much until the very end to get it done. And I could have got it done in an hour. If you asked me to get it done in half an hour, I think I could have done something better than we got right there, easily. I could maybe have gotten a whole song done in half an hour. It probably wouldn't be very good, but it might be. But anyhow, it was more of an exercise in relating with other people than getting a result. And they wanted to spend more time. They wanted to miss some of the other activities to spend more time. It's like, no, it's not a time issue. It's a matter of flow and efficiency. So, I'm sharing the conflict more because I think it's more relevant to the growth process than the things that went well. It was very nice to see my parents, albeit for only 2 hours on the way there and 2 hours on the way back, but that was nice. Quality over quantity. And the weather was beautiful, and I really did enjoy a lot of the aspects of being there. And look at me. I'm doing a video before bedtime. It's 1:30 in the afternoon, so good for me. I'm going to knock these 10 out in the next 10 days, and then I got another trip. I'm going to Pain Conference, which I've heard very, very good things about, so I'm excited about that. And it's going to be in Colorado. I haven't been in the mountains for a while. Is that true? I don't know. When was the last time I was in the mountains? A couple years ago. Okay, that'll do it.